Do you think that the NCAA needs to do more in helping to push women in the women's NCAA tournament? But not even just the women's tournament, but all women's athletics.
Oh, definitely. Oh, they're so underrated and so underappreciated. Look at what money goes to like the Michigan football program and the Michigan basketball program. Those donors just throw money at those two programs to make sure they have the top of the line equipment, the top of the line weight rooms, the top of the line jerseys, whatever they need and want, to make sure you're paying top of the line coaches to stay at the university. I mean, they're doing whatever they can. So, but when you look at women's sport, they don't do that as much for like women's softball or women's basketball.
They don't.
The gymnastics program.
They really don't.
Or those things. So there's got to be, like, I'm really proud of like the U.S. women's soccer team. They just won a huge lawsuit and are going to get some money back that they have been deserved for years, because they're better than the men's team, to be honest. They have a better record.
That's true.
So you look at that, and like right now, Kim Barnes-Erico for Michigan is balling out over Juwan Howard. But do you think he's getting the same salary? Do you think she's getting the same recognition? No.
That's a shame. That's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame, because the woman is coaching those girls so effectively this season, but when you turn on local news, you don't see her getting interviewed. You see Juwan getting interviewed. You see Harbaugh getting interviewed. You see anyone but these women coaches getting interviewed and getting.
Brenda Freeze has more appearances in March Madness than Mark Turgeon.
That's crazy.
So I mean, it's not fair.
It's not fair at all.
Who knows when it's going to be fair? I mean, look at, like, for instance, Becky Hammon's going to be one of the top paid WNBA coaches at $1 million. But what are some of these other coaches making?
Right.
I mean, it's just, come on.
Well,
it's 2022, level the playing field.
Right. It's about damn time. We need to.
With that, Mark Davis paid her that. There are owners that want to see the women get paid more than what they're getting. Now, I do feel like this is just how I feel. There's these narratives, because on my podcast, I've been very vocal about a support of the WNBA, and that there needs to be. I think the way the WNBA has poorly marketed not only the league but the women. Now the NCAA is the same thing. If all you gotta go back and look at those videos of the facilities, where the women are they're getting yoga mats and stuff like that, 5-pound dumbbells compared to what the men got.
Right.
I think and I may be wrong, but I think Angel Reese was talking about how Brenda has to go out and buy them food to eat, and the men are eating like kings. So I definitely think it's one. Obviously, we're in a male-dominated society, and again, the media does play a role, and there's politics. But I'll be honest: if you watched that Final Four last year, it was more entertaining. The women's Final Four was more entertaining to watch than the men's. Yep. Particularly Baylor versus UConn.
It was.
It's just.
Go ahead, Nate.
No, go ahead, Kate.
I was just going to say, and you look at these commercials that they put out, and they use women athletes, but where's your Sue Bird? I mean, that woman is amazing. Where's your Candace Parker? Where are these amazing women and WNBA players in any of these ads? Put them in the Subway ad. Yes, Simone Biles is amazing. Yes, Serena Williams is amazing. But so is Sue Bird. So are some of these others. So is Diana. There's great women players, and they're just, it irritates me as a woman to see that they're just like not thought of as great.
I do feel like there will be more sponsors for the women. I do think that I think it goes. You said this before, Sean. It takes what we're doing to continue to kill those narratives and saying, "Hey, look, this is what it is." They can play the game of basketball, if not just as better. I feel like we have to change minds and hearts instead, because sometimes when I hear people talk about with the WNBA and even NCAA for women's basketball, I hear a lot of ignorance. Like, it's boring. I don't, I mean, I'll follow this player, but
it's not boring.
No. Now you can tell that they have not watched. They have not attempted to watch. They don't even get into it because the games are more intense, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Those women can get scrappy with each other just as much as the men can get scrappy.
Oh, I've seen that. I was like,
you get
whoa.
a Brittany Griner out there and she's heated, she'll take you down.
Right. I'm like, wow. I'm like, good gracious, man. So, hey,
the one thing I will say that for this tournament is going to be expanded from 64 to 68 teams.
Okay.
So 4 more teams can make it. Can definitely make it.
I can dig it.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot wait, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to bring you the selections when selection shows come. We're going to bring you the women's selections, the men's, start to preview some of those early matchups as we get closer to that time of the year. We are definitely going to be following these conference tournaments as they happen. I know Nathan, they said there's 2 more women's games left.
For the Big Ten, I think besides Maryland and I think Michigan, there's a couple. I think everyone has